Hello, darlings. I am Cassandra. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming. In this video, I'm going to go over 11 types of wealth. And I want you to see which ones you already have and which ones you're working to bring more into your life. But before we start, though, I want you to know that I know a lot of times we do a lot of money magic and we're all looking for prosperity, and I get it, right? And as a person who has chased money my entire life to be a multi-millionaire, I mean, I realize how rich I already am, and it's just kind of like, I don't know. And I'm hoping by the end of this video, you will see how rich you already are. And to know, I think to understand the role that money actually plays in your life is to think about Elon Musk. Here's a man who is extraordinarily wealthy, but yet he wants something else. What does he want? Does he want to be remembered? Does he want power? Does he want to change the world? Does he want to be in the history books? Money is usually just a tiny part of what you're really chasing, or what you're really trying to acquire, what you really want. I think once your basic needs are met, right, and you can do most of the things you want to do with your life, I think that you're not chasing money anymore. You're chasing something else. And I want you to become conscientious about what it is you're really chasing, because if you don't know what it is, you won't know when you've acquired it. You won't know when to stop. You won't know, when to, like, why am I doing this? Why am I here? Right? So I want to read to you the beginning of the song, In the Club by 50 Cent. He says, in the hood in LA, they saying 50 you hot. They like me. I want them to love me like they love Pac. So here is a man who is, very successful, obviously very wealthy. He's hot. He's popular. But he said they like me, but I want them to love me like they love Pac. Meaning it's not just the money. Like, I want to be loved. And I think that is a lot of times what people are really chasing when they think they're chasing money. When you think you're chasing money, what you're really chasing is self-worth, and you're looking for love. And you don't really know what that love looked like, because you don't know if it's the love of millions of people that would make you feel loved. I have a theory about I want to just talk about this for a quick second before I go into the 11 types of wealth. Marilyn Monroe, and I think I mentioned her in a video, and I think a lot of women go through this, right? You want to feel beautiful, and you want to feel attractive, and you want to feel loved, right? And what happens is you go after the love of millions of men, of being cherished, and people thinking, oh my God, you're so gorgeous. But there's not a single man who was available when on the night of her the last day Marilyn Monroe was alive, that would bring her, let's say she called like 12 different people saying, I really need help. I'm in a bad place, but nobody came to assist her. This is the mistake I think a lot of women make. It's like they focus on, like, oh, I want to BBL, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to look like this, I want the attention of millions of men. You know why? I think because they want to feel loved, they want to feel attractive. But I think it is easier, now go work with me here, I think it is easier to acquire the attention of millions of men than it is to keep the attention of one. Because the millions of men, they don't get to see you without your makeup. They don't get to smell your breath in the morning. They don't have to see the part of you when you're not so happy, or when you're, not all made up and fluffy, when you have your bad days. And you're a human to that person. But when you find that man who just loves you without your makeup, without your wig, without your eyelashes, and who will bring you soup when you're ill, who is there for you. He doesn't care about your mask. He loves you. Now that is a man who is to be cherished and that's what you're looking for. Because the guys who are like, oh my God, hey cutie girl, could I drink your bath? All this mess, right? The guys who are constantly coming on to you and telling you how gorgeous you are, they don't love you, right? That's not the love you're looking for. So yes, you're getting attention, but at the end of the day, you still have this emptiness that you can't seem to figure out. Why aren't my relationships working? Why am I so unhappy? Why is nothing working for me? Because you're not looking in the right place. So it's the same thing with money to me. I think sometimes when we're chasing money or we're trying to acquire, wealth, we're coming in at a deficit. Like we're looking, there's this law of attraction. This is, like attracts like. You, in order to acquire something, you must be in a vibration of it. You must be able to pretend that you already have something before you can acquire it. Now, the reason these 11 types of wealth are important is because if you are seeking money and you want to feel wealthy, you need to already understand the wealth that you already have available to you, so that when you are acquiring monetary wealth, you're not coming in at a deficit. So it's kind of like if you go into a relationship where you don't already love yourself and you're seeking attention, you're seeking love, even though you don't already love yourself. You don't even recognize when someone else loves you because you don't love you. I don't know if that makes sense or not. So the same thing with money. You don't even understand how wealthy you are until you understand that even with or without the money, you are already wealthy, that you're already worthy of the best that life have to offer, and that it doesn't matter if what type of car or what type of person that you attract, or what type, you know what I'm saying? That the money is not going to define you, because you're not going to do something that conflicts with your sense of morality and the deep love that you have for yourself and the people you love. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So anyway, now when I took my first class in sociology a long time ago, child, I remember when I was going to Henry Ford Community College, it was the only class I passed was sociology. It just intrigued me for some reason. So I had all F's and 1 C. And I was skipping school, by the way, but I was still like checking on sociology because I thought this is really cool. So basically, Max Weber is a theorist who says there's 3 different types of wealth. This is back in the day, back in the early 80s, right? And he said there are 3 types of wealth that I'm going to go over, but I've added to this list, and people have added to this list over time. So the first type of wealth is, this is one of my favorites, by the way. I think he may have called it social capital, but I think he called it prestige when I was taking the class back in the day. And prestige, oh my God. Oh, I get excited. Prestige is Mother Teresa, Harriet Tubman, Mahatma Gandhi. It's people who have contributed to the world, and what they have contributed has so much value and so much prestige that is considered a type of wealth. It is your reputation, child. It is the reputation that you have for changing the world. And I think that that's what Elon Musk is looking for right now. He has monetary wealth, but I think he's looking for prestige. And prestige is interesting. because it is not something you can buy. It's something that money cannot buy. It's something that you only acquire from giving. And I think to acquire this, your place in the history book, so to speak, you must give I want to say more than the average person could have. And I think it has to do with, like maybe you're transforming people who change laws, people who move society forward because of their willingness to make a difference, even when it's not easy. That's the thing. Prestige comes from being willing to make a difference, even when it's not easy, even when things are tough, even it's selfless, by the way. So social capital, prestige is something that you acquire, where your reputation precedes you based on your contribution to society. Now, that's prestige. The other part of it, I'm going to keep these two together, is they call it social capital now. And it talks about like your friendships, like such as sororities and fraternities, your community involvement, your professional networks, your groups that you belong to. So I'm gonna lump these two together. So like if you have a lot of friends, or you can call the president and get a favor right now, that is a wealth. If you have fraternity brothers or sisters, or you're a part of a professional network where you would never be without a job because all you have to do is make a phone call, that is wealth. You understand? If there are people in your life who are loan you money, who can do favors for you, you don't have to worry about transportation. You really don't have to worry about anything. You may not have like physical money, but there is absolutely nothing you need, because the people around you will provide you with whatever it is you need. That is considered social capital. So prestige is your reputation, and it's what you're giving and how the world perceives you. And social capital is the network of people who are willing to provide and give to you and do things for you. So that's I'm going to put those together as 1 and 1A. Okay. The next type of wealth is the one that I think most people are chasing, is financial wealth. And money, assets, material possessions, real estate, stocks, bonds, bitcoins, jewelry, art, is financial clout. You can buy whatever you want whenever you feel like it. Now, even if you're a person who can buy whatever you want whenever you feel like it, it doesn't mean that you have prestige. You might be extremely wealthy and people don't even know your name, or people might hate you, but that doesn't take away from the fact you can go and buy whatever you want whenever you feel like it, and that you own properties. And so Elon Musk has wealth, and he owns a lot of things, but I think he's trying to make his mark in the history books. So remember, the second type of wealth is all about economic capital, resources, money, your savings account, your bank account, all of your, I'm going to say all your basic needs are met. You have consistent employment. You have a regular job. You have a regular paycheck. You know where your next dime is coming from. You may not be a multi-millionaire, but you know right now that if you wanted to buy pizza, you can buy pizza. You're not worried about gas in your car. So your basic needs are being met. That's one level of the monetary wealth that I think people overlook. And then there's also people who are extremely wealthy, who have very expensive material possessions and real estate, capitals, bonds, the whole nine. So that's the wealth that I think that everybody always think about without realizing that there are other types of wealth as well. And then there is economical wealth. Now, I'm not really sure if this is, I wasn't sure if I should use the word economical wealth, because I'm quite sure, like I would like to say, great minds think alike. I haven't seen this anywhere, but it's not rocket science, and I'm quite sure that someone else has already named it something else or call it something else. I call it economic or maybe environmental wealth. So basically, if you live in an area where you have fresh water, you're not walking 50 miles to get fresh water. You have access to the internet. You have access to the library. You can go to the park. A lot of people don't even think about the fact that they live in an area of the world where they can, go for a walk, and feel safe. In general, they can go and they have water, they have running water, they have electricity. Some places don't have electricity. Some places don't have access to the internet. So some people can't go to the library and borrow a book. And let's not forget about access to a quality education, right? Like you can, oh my God, do you know how many countries where people cannot go to school or people can't learn, they can't acquire books, so they don't have teachers? I mean, that is a form of wealth, to be able to enroll in classes, take community classes, right? So there are a lot of resources that you have around you that you are literally taking for granted. Even if it's a crime-free area, you have people that clean your streets when it snows, or you know what I mean? Like I was thinking about this, how lucky I am, right? I'm really extremely lucky that I live in an area where if I want something at 2:00 in the morning, I feel safe enough to go and get it, and without someone hurting me or harming me. I have, police protection. I love the police in my community. Man, I know they know me by first name basis. I'm that girl. Yeah! I am that. Yes, I am that girl. I'm calling. I'm not, no. If I see something, if I hear something, no, we are calling. Because I want, and they are always happy to oblige. They're in a good mood. They're never like, is that Cassandra? Yeah, which they could be, right? But no, I love, if you have access to healthcare, you live near a hospital, you get sick, you can call the ambulance to come pick you up, right? So you can go to the emergency room, and it is the law that they have to wait on you. That is wealth. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you don't even understand how wealthy you are to go into an emergency room and say, look, dude, I don't feel well, and it is the law in America. They have to wait on you even if you don't have health insurance. So again, I don't know if I should call it environmental wealth or economic wealth, but when you are performing any type of money magic or spells, or if you're thinking about, I need more money, don't go into it with a deficit mindset, because it makes it very difficult for it to work. Go into it, make it a list. I have healthcare, I have electricity, I have water, I have heat, I have, police in my area. I can, just start naming all the things that you already have. And I'm going to tell you why it's so important. It's because it puts you in a state of gratitude, and it raises your vibration. But sometimes I think we don't think about these things as assets or as types of wealth, because we're so busy thinking about what we're missing. The next type of wealth I have for you is time. Oh my goodness, guys. Okay. A long time ago, I wrote God a letter, and I said, God, I just want to make $60,000 a year and have enough time to write. At this time, I had not even thought about the Jungle Beauty Goddesses. I used to write for various magazines, for Today's Black Woman. God, I'm looking at the name of the magazine. I think it begins with a U. Anyway, I don't want to think about that. Long story short, I used to write for a lot of magazines. I used to write articles. I wrote, for newspapers, and that's all I wanted. And so I read this spell. I don't know how, or somebody told me. I don't know how I came across this information, but they said take a green sock, and in the green sock write, this is when you're looking for a job. Don't write the title of the job, because if you write the title of the job, that it would stop the magic. So you want to give the universe a lot of leeway. You wanted to give it some juice, something to work with. So just pretty much say what, like, do you want to work inside or outside? Do you want the days to be the same? Do you want to work with people, or do you want to work alone? Like, just focus on the feeling that you want to experience. So I remember saying I wanted to laugh 1 through 10. And like, it was like, my list was like, I need to laugh. I need to be able to dress up and be myself. I want the exchange of ideas, because that's my, like, with people. And another key point to me was I wanted the people to change frequently. Like, because when I was a social worker, you could have the same family for years. And I just thought, no, I don't want that. I want it where, we meet and we have this intense, juicy, and rich exchange of ideas. And we meet like at this time and space, and then we release. That was important to me, right? Didn't know it was going to be teaching. Teaching was never on my list. I never even thought about being a teacher, but that's what it ended up being. I wanted it to be on the inside. I wanted to make my own schedule. I wanted it to be flexible. Every single thing that I wanted on this list was there, and I had time to write. So there are people who I know have like, I knew that this guy, he was like a manager, and he was making, I think it was, let me just say this, he took a $50,000 pay cut so that he could have time to be with his family. Like, he decided he didn't need that much money. So the person that he was over became his boss. Like, one of the people that he supervised became his boss. But he did not mind, because he thought, life is short. I have a lot of money. My house is paid for. I want peace. I want to be able to go home. I want to be able to eat dinner with my family. And so he took a $50,000 pay cut. He said it's the richest he's ever felt in his entire life. You see what I'm saying? So one of the things I'm realizing about myself, as a person who's been chasing money my whole life, I've never done anything for money. I've never thought, oh my God, that pays so much money, let me do that. and I'm just thinking about this. So when I was in school, I would never take a job that would conflict with my ability to be able to take classes. So I used to work the midnights on the People Mover downtown Detroit when they were building the People Mover, and I loved it because I could study, and then I would catch the bus to go to Henry Ford Community College, and I could take classes all day and night because I was up all night studying. And then after class, I would go home and go to sleep, and then I would go to work to do my homework. So time was important to me. Time is, guys, listen to me. There are people who make millions of dollars, but they don't know their kids. Their kids don't know them. They're stressed out. They don't have any time to themselves. There are people who are in corporate positions. They make a lot of money, but their health is bad. They don't have time to go to the gym. They don't have time to spend with their families. Like, time is wealth. Time is the most important thing, because time is life. The ability to be able to do things that bring you pleasure with people that you love is so important. So when you take a job, consider, like, am I gonna be able to be home with my kids? How often am I going to be able to be with my spouse? Or will I even have time to find love if I'm always working? So time, I remember when I was a social worker, and the job was extremely draining. I was a foster care social worker, and it was just a really hard job. And I remember my son asked me to help him with his homework, and I snapped at him because I had such a horrible day. And this is when I knew I could no longer be a social worker, because I thought to myself, my kid doesn't deserve this. I'm drained. I'm exhausted. I had court, all day with various cases, and then there was always a ton of paperwork, always a report due. And I thought, my kids are getting the crumbs of me. My kid does not deserve the crumbs of me. I said, I need more time. So having time available to enjoy your life and the people you love, that is a type of wealth. The next type of wealth is a little bit more obvious that people probably think about. Your physical health is wealth. If you are a trillionaire, let's just say you hit the lottery tonight to become a trillionaire. Okay, that could be amazing, right? But then the next day you lose your vision. Would you care? Would you? And they say, how much would it cost to get your vision back? Would you turn in your trillion? I know I would. I'd be like, here, take it all. Take it. Your ability to be able to see, to walk, to talk, to think, to enjoy life, enjoy your food, that is wealth. Health is wealth, right? Like, don't take it for granted. So when you're doing your money magic, when you're thinking about money, think about, wow, I'm pretty rich already, because I am extremely healthy. I can talk, I can read, I can do a lot of amazing things in my body. I can, go to the library. I can walk down the street. I can look at the birds. I can go to the park. Man, I am so wealthy. Health is wealth. And I think it is our greatest asset. The next type of wealth is spiritual wealth. I think that being able to, this is my personal opinion, to believe in something bigger than yourself, to have faith that things are going to work out, to have faith that, I don't know, in order to have a sense of peace, or when something happens, when you pray, to have a way to ground yourself, to ground yourself emotionally, because you feel that there is something bigger than you. And I think I've shared this story before. There was a time in my life, right, where, because I was just like, I was ready to exit my earth suit, right? And I was trying to, rationalize this with God. I'm like, God, I'm under a lot of stress, and I just don't think I'm doing a really good job on this planet. So I had this epiphany. I'm writing my letter. I'm like, I'm done with Earth, right? And something came to me, because I always think in terms of, if I was God, how would I handle this? Right? That's how I think. And I thought to myself, if I was God, because my mother would always say, oh, that's the only sin you can't be forgiven for. No. I was like, nope. You will repeat this cycle until eternity, until you make a different decision. Until you make a different decision, you will always come right back to this point. And that was my thought process, because I believe in God, and I feel like I'm spiritually wealthy. I am extremely spiritually wealthy, even in my darkest moments. And I was just like, that if I was God, that's what I would make me do. And I was like, God, is that true? And it was just like, this feeling of like, hey, why not? Obviously you haven't mastered whatever, why would I? It wouldn't be to punish you, but it would just be for you to make a better and different decision. So I decided that I would go to homeless shelters and do some type of, encouragement and inspirational type education programs to help homeless women fill out their how to write a resume, how to sign up for your GED, because I took a GED out of high school, and because I had a spiritual director at the time who knew that I was really down, and he said, whenever you're down, always think about what you can do for free, what you can give. And so I started going to these homeless shelters, literally sitting down with people, teaching them how to interview, fill out job applications, how to take their GED. And I just felt so connected to God, so just spiritually wealthy, right? So spiritual wealth is really important, and what you believe and how you believe and what gets you through the darkest moments in your life can make the biggest difference. You know what I'm saying? So spiritual wealth is more than its weight in gold. The next type of wealth is, and this is just my opinion, guys, I call it love wealth. Now I know a lot of people may not agree with this, but I think if you have true love in your life, somebody who is supportive, somebody who communicates, just a really rich, meaningful relationship. What's that guy name? Oh, he was considered, I almost said his name, one of the richest men in the world prior to Elon Musk, but he said his wife was his greatest asset, and she never, Warren Buffett, and his wife never asked for things, and she understood what the big picture was, and she agreed on raising their kids not to be greedy, but he always felt that his wife was his greatest asset. And then also, now I know this is a little controversial and maybe I shouldn't say it, but let me just say this. First and foremost, I respect Michelle Obama as a human being. I love her and I always will. And let's not forget the fact that she's a Capricorn and I'm a Capricorn, and we Capricorns stick together. However, when she did not go to the inauguration with Obama, I wouldn't have never done that. I would like to think that I wouldn't have done that to my husband. I feel like of all the men that was there, he was definitely one of the ones who deserved to have his wife by his side. And to me, it's not for the ops and it's not for the camera. It's simply because you have accomplished something so amazing. The first African American president of one of the greatest, the biggest, most powerful countries in the world. And I'm not sending my baby, my husband, into enemy camp without me holding his hand. I just couldn't imagine doing that. So I watched Obama at Trump's inauguration, and I just for me, when we're 95 years old, it's me and you against the world. Anybody who's had me in my classes before, they know that I've always said I think Bill and Hillary have the perfect relationship, perfect marriage, not relationship, marriage. Not because the fact that Bill, cheated or all these things he's done. It's because I think a couple should have a vision, and that their institution that they're building should be more powerful than anything that comes against them. I don't know. That's just my opinion. And I just feel like that if you have your person who you are building something with, and what you share between you is more important than what's outside of you, and you're emotionally, you both emotionally protect each other. People, it's not about money. I think people think it's about money, but it really isn't. Because a lot of people have money. Money has become, women have money, make money, men make money. But it's that emotional protection and support and nurturing that you get from your partner. And to know that it's you and me against the world. That to me is priceless. So the next type of wealth is I don't know if I want to call it creativity wealth, or because I believe God is an artist, y'all. I don't know if you've ever looked at a lion. Oh my God, I love lions. Oh, have you ever watched a male lion walk? The way his paw goes like this, like he is just so stuck up. Yeah, I see why women do all the, they do most of the killing, and I would feel like, look at my mane. Like, do you honestly expect me to go out here and get blood on this beautiful mane? No. Y'all go out there and get me some food, okay? Yeah, because I look good. Yeah. That's how I would think. I mean, I've been watching like these lion videos. Oh, the mane and the way their paws go, like, he walks like this. I'm like, oh, God, just like, I'm going to show out. He made the cat, and he was like, he put the stripes on the tiger. He said, this is beautiful. I like it. I like it a lot. And then he just said, for the lion, he was looking at him. He was like, I got it. I got something you're going to love. I got something you're going to love. Poosh. And here is this big mane that just, right? Have you looked at the cheetah? Have you looked at, to me, if you can see that God put so much care into how he created this world, how she created this world, you will see, like, he didn't just like throw it together. There is an ambiance. There is a beauty. This world can be so beautiful. I remember looking at a tree, and it was like during the fall, and the leaves were just so gorgeous. I just started weeping. Like, what is this? God is like, yeah, we gotta know. No. I'll put a little touch of this right here. I mean, I look at the birds. Anyway, so creativity, or being creative, is a type of wealth. If you can sing, dance, write, sew, paint, any form of self-expression that shares this creative energy from your creator. Oh, man, you are so rich. You are so rich. A lot of people don't even know that their gift, their talent, their ability to express themselves creatively is to me the greatest one of the greatest wealths in the world. And I'm going to say this. My jungle beauty goddess has saved my life, man. When I was in my late 40s, and we were, in the beginning I was teaching all of my classes in person. I had 7 classes in person, and then we started making online classes, so I was mixed, right? Some of my classes online, some was in person. I went through a deep depression because I was just like, oh my God, I miss my students. I miss being on campus. I miss sleeping in my office. And I remember driving to work, and I saw the dolls in my imagination. I didn't know they were dolls, but it was like these big jungle African women on these giant animals. And I was just like, I think I'm losing my mind, y'all, because I'm seeing these beings. Yeah! I'm seeing these huge, gigantic women. You see behind me. The first one was Mythology. Mythology is, Sahara was, I think Mythology was right here. Yes, this is Mythology. And I just started making these dolls, and then after I made the dolls, and then that's when the story came to me in a dream. But this is during a time when my body is changing, and my career is changing. And I fell in love. I fell in love with making dolls. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what was going on, but I knew that I was in love and that I felt fulfilled and my life felt rich. The other type of power is, I like to call it institutional power. Now, I don't know if I named these. I think this is my last one, if I'm not mistaken. Institutional power. Oh, I have another one. And this is something in terms of where, and this is the position you hold gives you power, but you don't have power yourself. And a lot of times people would take a job that pays nothing because it gives them institutional power. So you may, for example, police officers, teachers. Teachers are very powerful. Nurses. I remember when my daughter-in-law was pregnant with my grandson, she was having her ultrasound, and we were going to see the baby for the first time. And the receptionist, she just didn't like me, or maybe she just not. It wasn't personal, but it was this rule. She's like, no, she can't go back, or something, because we can only have, because my son was already with his wife. But anyway, my son said, I'll come out so my mom can, see the baby. But she said no. And she saw how disappointed and hurt I was. And it just gave her so much pleasure because she was able to exercise. She was able to exercise her power. Receptionists are very powerful. They know everybody's business. They make nothing. They make no money, but they have so much power. A lot of times the janitors have a lot of power. They know all your business. They know your garbage. They know who's in. They know who's out. They know what's going on. They are moving from the president's office. They know everything about everybody in that school. You hear me? Janitors are very powerful beings. So power has nothing to do with money. Institutional power, right? But once you judges, but see, a lot of times these positions can be positions where people are gatekeepers, the people who decide which applications get through. So just remember that the institutional power is a type of wealth. And some people, they don't care about the money, they don't care about the time. They feel that being able to assert their personalities, being able to ruin your day, ruin your day or bless your day, they feel extremely wealthy. So if you have a position, man, let me tell you something. I'm a teacher, right? And I saw one of my students, and she was crying. This was like a billion years ago, honestly. And I'm just like, what's wrong? And she's like, nothing. I'm like, well, I said, I believe you, but I just want you to do a better job proving to me, like, you know, like the tears, the all that. Like, it's just like, convince me. And so basically, when she told me what was wrong, I was able to help her and get rid of her problem just like that. And it just made me so happy. Like, you know, a lot of us have power that we're not even exercising, that we're not even executing. Like maybe you're not happy with the neighborhood, or you're not happy with, you know, maybe you should run for office in your community. You know, there are a lot of things that we can do to feel more powerful and feel wealthier. Another type of wealth is popularity. If you are able to influence other people to buy products, to use, you know, different deodorants or whatever, is no longer a type of wealth that belongs only to celebrities. You can have a YouTube channel or whatever, but social influence or being popular is also a type of wealth. I think I have named all of the types of wealth, and then also I don't know which category I will put this under, but even like, you know, like gang members, or whenever you have influence over other people, and I think I will put that under the institutional power, because the fact that you're a part of the gang is what gives you the power. If you're just like acting as an individual and nobody cares, you're just, you know, just a person. So just remember that institutional power means that the collective energy of the people and the rules make the person powerful. But once they leave that position, they're no longer powerful unless they have acquired some type of prestige, where people recognize them on their own, and they, you know, built this stellar reputation, or they have acquired some type of wealth. But you don't need wealth or a good reputation to have the power of an institution behind you. So which one of these make a list of the types of wealth that you already possess, darling, so that when you are performing your money spells and your magic, or you're looking for money, know that you are coming in already wealthy, and that you are just building on what you already have. I really hope this video helps someone. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you, darlings, in the next video.